is going on, everyone? LeoBlade13 here, welcoming you back to another Dragoborne Let's Talk, where we are discussing the Oath of Blood cards that have been revealed. So today we're going to be talking about some yellow ones, so without wasting any time, let's jump right into this. So first up, we have a 4-drop yellow card, Bacchus, Patron of the Blossom. She has 3 attack, 5 endurance, so pretty good for a 4-drop. And then she's got the ability, when this creature is summoned, if you have 2 or more green creatures, you may put 2 cards from the top of your deck into your resource zone. Choose one of your resources and return it to your hand. So it essentially lets you recycle those cards that you want that got locked into your resource zone. So I do really like that, and it does let you go +1 because you're putting 2 into your resource zone and then 1's going to your hand. The only downside is that you have to have 2 green cards on the field already, because it triggers when she's summoned. So, a little bit of a downside there, but I think summoning her turn 2 or turn 3, I think it's definitely possible if you're playing more of a green-green-yellow rather than a yellow-yellow-green. Then she's also got a green Dragocross ability, which is when this creature attacks, you may choose one of your resources, return it to your hand, and put the top card of your deck into your resource zone. So more of that kind of filtering out of your resource zone, which I do really like to see. Just essentially lets you get those cards that you want. So you could stash it there with Fleetwing Sprite if you're playing against the discard deck once that comes out in Oath of Blood, and then you can use Bacchus to just return it back to your hand. Similarly to what Play-Doh is going to allow you to do, where you stash a card in your ambush zone, and then when you need it, you return it to your hand. So I think this card, as well as Play-Doh, are going to be really defining in the next few weeks after Oath of Blood is released. Anyways, the next card that we got is Exalted Duelist. This is one of those cards that I was talking about in the previous video, I think 2 videos ago, where it lets you change the value of your yellow dice or change a dice to match the value of one of your yellow dice. So I told you I wasn't going to talk about these because I have already covered it, and I knew we had the yellow one, I just couldn't find it in all of my images, but here it is. Then, next up we have Intimidated Guardian. He is a 3/3/3 yellow creature with the ability at the end of your turn, stand this creature. So I really like this because there's no other effect that has to be taken into account. So we saw from the Guardian Sphinx in Rally to War that you had to siphon, or it had to be Dragocrossed, something like that, that made it restand. And then Sunscale Dragon had to destroy Drago Shield, I believe. The Hydra had to attack something that wasn't a Drago Shield and to let it restand, but this is just stands at the end of your turn. So I do really like the simplicity of that card. And the final card that we're going to cover today is Vainglory Incarnate. This card has some amazing artwork and an amazing effect to go along with it. So it is a 6-drop with 6 attack, 6 endurance, with the effect, when this creature attacks, if your opponent has 6 or more cards in their resource zone, you may choose a red or black resource and destroy it. So you are negging your opponent every turn, because by the time he comes out, your opponent is most likely going to have 6 cards in your resources. And it is important to note that it's just cards in the resource zone. It's not resources. So that does include banners. So if your opponent is playing mono red or red black, you can essentially lock them at whatever resource count they are at, because he'll destroy one. Just for simplicity's sake, let's say they have 6 resources. You attack, destroy one, they go down to 5. Their next turn, they resource 1, they go back up to 6. Pass goes to you. You attack them, destroy another one, they go down to 5. So they're kind of stuck right there. They're not getting any extra resources. They will only have 6 for the remainder of the game, until you get a second one out, and then you can, well, I guess with that example it wouldn't work, but yeah, once you get 2 out, you'll be knocking them down even harder. So I do really like this effect, and I'm glad it is a 6 cost. I think making it anything lower than that was going to make it too good. I think they don't necessarily need to put the color restriction, but I do kind of like that they did that. I think he would be just a little bit too broken if that wasn't there. So then he does have a green Dragocross ability, which is when this creature attacks, you may siphon 3, If you do, choose one of your yellow resources and return it to your hand. So more of like we were talking about with Bacchus, where lets you add those cards back to your hand. So if you get a Teriel stuck there, then you can add it back. But if you're playing green, you're going to be using that 6-drop just to put Teriel into your fort. So you're probably going to want your Teriel there. But this is still a really cool card for the first effect. I can't see the green Dragocross ability having much use, but I do really like this card. So guys, let me know what you thought of these down below, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as follow me on Twitter and check out Dragoracle.com. You can find all the images for the cards that I have not yet talked about there if you want to go over and check them out yourself if you haven't been following any of the official Dragoborne stuff. But as always, thanks for watching.